Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, bahasham, Barak, double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Atham out here pushing this gospel in truth and in sincerity to the best of their ability given to them by YAHAWASHI. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect scattered abroad. May the election of YAHAWAH, bahasham, YAHAWASHI, Lord willing, fall upon all your houses. Hey, this is the brother YAHAWAH. Come back at you, Lord will, with a quick, little edifying, Lord willing, edifying lesson through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI. So the article says right here, it says, top general warns China could soon spring surprise nuclear strike on U.S. Hey, man. Hey, what are starting with the elder apostles on down. Hey, what have the prophets been telling you, man? that nuclear war is coming to American soil, man. America is ultimately going to be that lake of fire, man. Hey, which this right here proves more and more that that these false doctrines are exactly what they are, man. False doctrines, man. You got the Christians talking about that lake of fire, for those that don't, so on and so forth. And no, that lake of fire is going to be America on fire, and it's going to become that lake of fire by way of these ICBM nuclear missiles being shot off and destroying this place, man. We've been saying this time and time again, man, and really, we're saying this in the spirit of YAHAWASHI. The Lord YAHAWASHI is the one that's saying it through us, man. Like it says, man, in Hosea 12:10, the Lord YAHAWASHI speaks through the ministry of his prophets, man. So we're out here speaking the words of YAHAWASHI, man, doing his will and not our own, man. It's proof, man. Y'all can ultimately, I'm gonna read the first couple paragraphs. It says, the second ranking general in the U.S. military has sounded the alarm about China's weapons development, warning that Beijing may soon have the capability to launch a surprise nuclear strike against America. Really, Babylon the Great, man. Babylon the Great. Hey, that war is coming, man. That world war is coming, as it says in Revelations, the 11th chapter, the 14th verse. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, man. This is, and it's coming quickly. Now they're talking about nuclear strike on each other, man. Beforehand they were talking about, entering back into that nuclear arms race deal. Now they're talking about nuclear strikes on each other, man. Mainly, China doing a nuclear strike on America, which is soon to happen. It's prophesied that this will happen, right? And I just want to make this a quick lesson, man. So I'm just going to hit a couple scriptures, man. Y'all can ultimately go and look at and read this article, man, because it's basically just going into, how, these nations are no first use nations, man. China is, ultimately prides itself on being a no first use nation. So it's not going to be the first nation to ultimately fire these nukes out, right? And how America has ultimately said, right here, it's a spirit, man. It's right here. It says the United States has repeatedly refused to adopt a no first use policy, but has vowed not to use nukes against countries that do not have them. So America is willing to be the first nation to ultimately fire off those nukes, right? But they're not going to. They're saying that they're not going to fire nukes on those that do not have them, right? So all these, there's a plethora of nations that have taken up this the no first use act, right? But America hasn't, right? And it's coming to the point where, hey, America, these nations, for all the things that America has done, for all the deceit, for all the lying, the violence, and so on and so forth, that they've been pushing, that homosexual agenda, and all this wicked ass shit that they've been pushing, and they're gonna get the recompense, man. And it's gonna be by these nations shooting off those nukes first, right? This is what's coming to America, man. So let's go ahead and grab a couple scriptures, man. Let's get out of here. This is Joel, the 3rd chapter, verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. And war is being prepared, man. And it has been prepared it has been started to get prepared for a very long time, man. The nation's been ultimately building up their nuclear arsenal. We saw I think it was in 2020 or the end of 2019. I think it was actually mid 2020 where Iran actually started to show off their missiles, man. You know, which was another sign that war was ultimately being prepared. So it's been in the making. You know, it's been in the works. It's been in the brews, man. You know, and we're seeing it start to that boiling point start to boil out of the pot, man. You know, and it's gonna come time where, you know, it's gonna over boil, man, to where that water is spewing out and hitting on that burner, and you're gonna hear, you know what I mean? And then it's gonna be time to take it off the pot, man, which is gonna be what, man? America being destroyed, you know? It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. And again, we're seeing that. You had North Korea ultimately doing a show for Kim Jong-un about their military and how these military men, you know, were ramming their freaking heads through, you know, cinder blocks, and you know what I mean, and punching and kneeing and elbow cinder blocks and snapping them in half. And you know, in the video there was a dude that was sitting there laying his back on crushed glass with a big ass cinder block on his chest, pressing his body down into that glass. And there was a dude with a sledgehammer, you know, that used that hammer to crack that freaking, it was on his freaking chest, man. You know, you know what I mean? The military members, these mighty men of these nations are ultimately raising up, man. You know, the men of war are coming near, drawing near, man. You know, they're raising up their armies, man. Like it says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Now, plowshares and pruning hooks are weapons or not weapons, but tools used for farming, right? So, and that's symbolic for their economy. You know what I mean? They're you know, raising up their economy, focusing on their money sources, right? But it says, beat your plowshares and swords and your pruning hooks and your spears. Now we know swords and spears are weapons of destruction, right? Tools of war, right? So now they're going from focusing on their economy to, you know, from focusing on, you know, things of building their people, to now they're focused on war. They're focused on their nukes and so on and so forth, man. They're weapons of mass destruction, right? It says, let the weak say I am strong. And a lot of these nations, which China, you know, used to be, you know, basically subject to America, man. You know, China used to take on a lot of America's debt, you know, which made China look real weak. You know, you're taking on a whole nother nation's debt, man. You know, made you look stupid and made you look weak. Well, now you have China, who now just became the richest country in the world. You know. And they were already the number one trade country in the world, man. And now they just became the world's richest country, you know. So, hey, you got all these nations, you know, saying, you know, on top of that, you know, they're coming up with they're building up their arsenal, man. You have Iran flaunting and flexing his muscle. You know, you have Kim Jong-un, who's flexing his nuclear cruise missiles and so on and so forth. You got Australia now entered into a deal, you know, first with France about their nuclear submarines, and now with America and their nuclear submarines. So you got a lot of these nations that got firepower, man. A lot of these nations are ultimately built up, man. A lot of these nations are now saying that they are strong. You know? Which, hey, when you have too many hands in the pot, hey, what's gonna happen, man? There's gonna be a fight. You know? And soon there's going to be a fight, which is going to be that war, that third woe, right? It says, assemble yourselves together and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord. Right, man. And who are these nations being assembled against? You know, because there is a common enemy that's here, man. There's a common enemy amongst the majority of these nations, man. Amongst, you know, the major powers, Russia, China, you know, Iran, Turkey, North Korea, and so on and so forth. A lot of these nations have a common power, you know, and it would be America, man. This is Jeremiah, what is it, 50 and verse 9? This is Jeremiah 50 and 9. It says, for lo, I will raise and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations. Did we not read where the Lord YAHAWASHI said, assemble yourselves together, all ye heathens, right? So I mean, all these nations are going to be assembled against America, man. So that's why it says, for I will raise and come up against Babylon, which will be America, an assembly of great nations from the north country, right? So there's going to be a whole shit ton of nations that are going to come up against Babylon, man, you know? And you're going to have those that are within NATO and the EU, so allies of America, going to turn against them. You're going to have those that are outside of the EU and NATO, which would be China and Russia. These nations are ultimately going to go up against Babylon, man. There's going to be an assembly of great nations, man, you know? Coming, you know, up against America, you know? He said, and they shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as of a mighty their arrows shall be as of a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. You know, right, man. So there's going to be a lot of, and those arrows are going into what, man? Going into those ICBM nuclear missiles, man. You know, and man, got the chariots out here, man. Call Lord YAHAWASHI, man. You know, this is what is going to be done, man. You know, you're going to have, and a lot of this is going to start with Russia, man. Russia is going to be, you know, the first one to ultimately start everything, man. You know, it's going to be crazy, man. You know, they're going to fire off their nukes, man. And then everybody else is going to fire off their nukes, you know. It says their arrows shall be as of a mighty excrement, and none shall return in vain. And those arrows, again, going into those ICBM nuclear missiles that are going to be shot off, man, that are going to destroy America, right? So like it says, and the Chaldees shall be a spoil, and all that spoil her shall be satisfied, saith the Lord YAHAWASHI. Because ye were glad, because ye rejoiced, O ye destroyers of mine heritage, because ye are grown fat as the heifer of grass, and the bellows of the bulls. Your mother shall be sore confounded. She that bare you shall be ashamed. Behold, the hindermost of the nations shall be a wilderness, a dry land and a desert. Right, man. America's going to be a plain, man. You know, it says, because of the wrath of the Lord YAHAWASHI, it shall not be inhabited, but it shall be wholly desolate. Everyone that goeth by Babylon shall be astonished and shall hiss at all her plagues, man. You know, hey, so this is what's coming to America, man. Those nuclear missiles, man. You know, and with those right after those nuclear missiles hit, man, it's gonna be complete and utter desolation, man. It's gonna be complete and utter destruction that's gonna come to America, man. You know, hey, here soon, man. That World War III is gonna take place, man. You know, here soon, you know, just as the destruction is coming, hey, the deliverance is coming as well, man. Lord will, we can be part of the elect. Hey, this is what's coming, man. You know, so I just want to make that real short, man. You know, call Allah YAHAWASHI, bahasham, Barak, Wadash. Double honor to the elder apostles and the elder bishops of Great Millstone, who rule very well, very beautifully. Double salutations to the Akim out here pushing this gospel and truth and in sincerity to the best of their ability, given to them by YAHAWASHI. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the elect scattered abroad. May the election YAHAWASHI, Lord, will info upon our house. I will say, Kwame Yasharala and Abba Ball. Shalom.